Damn.
But I don't see candy commercials anymore.
You think that's because people don't need advertisements? They're already fat fucks who know all the candies they need?
No, well, maybe.
Oh, yeah, like I said, candy's gay now.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, they turn the green M&M from a sexy bitch, fucking fine, sweet, juicy ass into a transgender with tennis shoes.
That green ass.
That sweet, green, plump chocolate.
Reminds me of a Granny Smith.
Now you're thinking of Skittles, which is also very gay. Think about it. Taste the rainbow.
No, the new M&M's woman.
What?
Is that old woman who plays in all the Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, yeah. I know the bitch who's way too old. She was in Idiocracy, and she actually looked good in that because it was 20 years ago.
I forgot she was in that. That's right.
I was like surprised because I've only known her from the New Days. So I'm like, who the fuck, whatever. But she was looking good 20 years ago.
Maybe that's why.
Oh my God. She arigato grandma's ass. She must have hopefully tricked some man before it was too late. Oh my good.
Probably because she's not getting into Hollywood ever right now. Like,
why do you say that?
Because she doesn't look as
ugly.
Good. Exactly.
Is that what you're trying to say, Evan?
No, because she's an actor and she's on strike.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with that.
It's been 100 days.
I think they fixed that, did they not?
No, it's day 100 today.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I swear I saw they fixed that or something, but good. I hope it dies. I hope it gets squeezed for everything it's worth.
You know what it's going to do? It's just going to make the fierce competition of amateur movie making.
I hope so.
Even higher.
That's good.
I hope so, guys. We got a movie coming out next year. I hope so. Do you think it actually will? I mean, dude, I have these illegal movie sites. I don't know if I could say that you could watch anything for free. Stop porn, Evan. Don't worry.
Is it called Cody?
There's so many, dude. It changes every month.
Oh, okay.
You know, you guys must know about all these. It changes every month because they rip it off the internet, and then you have to go to Cody 2. Then you got to go to I Watch Movies 3, Cineflix 17, you know, like they put a number next to it and change it slightly.
Jeez.
But my point about that anyway is that like I scroll through there and it was the first time recently I felt insane, like Poe realizing there's no commercials for him anymore. There's so many fucking movies. There's so many movies, which means there's so many garbage movies because I've never heard about them. There's just endless Grandma Stole Christmas, Grandma Fucked Santa Claus. They're all Christmas based, y'all.
I thought they were grandma based.
Apparently, from my definitions. Mitch was trying to do a Halloween theme, okay?
Well, The Hunter.
The Hunter, yeah. The Hunter with Denzel Squashington.
The man beast.
Yeah. God, isn't it gay how the world is just speculation, folks? How nothing is even real, but we're sitting here talking about it anyway. Like I heard that. Isn't that crazy?
Nah, man, that sugar's bad. Ah, it's good. No, we're still eating it.
What's
no one
in
cares.
fashion now? What is the new
We're
trend?
still gonna keep eating sugar.
But yo, I heard that that people who have the gluten intolerance could eat sourdough bread because it's natural, and they think it's because it's the yeast.
Right.
And then the natural yeast comes from just letting it sit out, so it's not overly processed, which is probably the same as the maple cream. It comes straight from the tree. It's not something that has been refined and bleached and all this shit. So I have half a mind to think that all the crap that comes out of the food industry is just the unnatural stuff that's been used time and time again.
Oh, yeah. Like peanut allergies are only a thing within the last like 50 years, apparently.
Oh, yep.
Peanut allergies are like a very severe mutation. Like that did not exist. It was very rare back.
And you know what else is a mutation that exists now?
Rock and roll.
Fat fucks. That's what I was gonna say. But rock and roll too.
Wow.
We were never that swagalicious, guys. We're gonna go dive back in history today, find out why swag has only occurred.
We're going
post
back
50 Cent
to the 80s.
Yeah.
Another theory I have. Nostalgia. It's so big now. You go everywhere. Everyone's like nostalgia.
Yeah, it's
nostalgia.
a huge
It was
market.
never a thing until like you were like an old man. Nostalgia.
I was just gonna ask.
And now it's like already like 30 years old, and everyone's like, I remember.
Yeah. Like maybe it existed. I was just gonna ask. Like, did it exist in the past? Do you guys think?
But it was for old people.
But it was for old people who like, Yeah, I remember the time before the electric tractor was invented.
Stuff just
and
changed.
It's like the one
slower.
thing that was invented in your life.
Yeah, because nothing changed.
One thing that happened that changed. Yeah, you kids got it good. We didn't have stoplights. We just had a black guy holding up a sign.
That's what all the terrible modern marketers do for like internet and telecom commercials I've seen lately. They'll be like, oh, it'll show like a 17-year-old kid be like, oh, they don't know how easy they have it with the streaming speeds nowadays. Back then.
Yeah, streaming speeds now.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like to wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, and they have Instagram pages called like only 90s kids will remember.
Oh,
and most
man.
of the people in there are just like born in 98. And it's like you're not really a 90s kid.
I want to do a special episode of Ancient Wisdom called Everything's Gay. And we're just going to talk about how everything's so gay now.
It is.
Like even that, I feel gay listening to that. Oh, I remember when I was a kid. The streaming speeds nowadays, boy, you guys got it good. Like, oh my God.
They talk like that
I
too.
feel homosexual. Yeah, you got it good. God, I couldn't imagine living in a world. Yeah, that's so
dial up.
gay. Yeah, dial up. Ooh, Grandpa. Yeah. But yeah, it's happening so much faster now, Poge. Like, I could not even be a 30-year-old dude, and I'm still.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Now that I could say it, because it's 2023, I never rewound my Blockbuster tapes.
Oh, you
I
son
just
of
brought
a
them back.
bitch.
I just brought them back.
You fucking
Who suffered
scum of the
after
earth.
that?
Now no
day.
one knows what that is,
You
so I'm safe.
goddamn satanic
I'm safe.
beast.
I just kept my secret that long.
God, you just waited until they went. Nah, Post didn't wait until they went out of business. You did 10
Until-
more years
until everybody
just
forgot.
to be safe, so they don't even remember it. Yo, that's how Netflix got big. No late fees. That was their big marketing.
No late
and by
fees.
then there was no streaming, kids. Gather round, old Grandpa Deuce. He's gonna tell you a tale. The early days of Netflix. You see, we don't have something called streaming services. Netflix was a video rental agency.
You're the Clint Eastwood face too, like this.
Netflix was the one that mailed it to you. It was the mail.
Yeah, they mailed it to you.
Yeah.
But it was so cool because Netflix, you could go on the net and order a flicks to your house. But now they're like, yeah, facts. But now they're like, oh, Grandpa, Netflix, right? Because you go online to watch. No, that's not why. That's not why. You had to go to order it
Through the
to your
mail.
house through the mail, the United States Postal. Oh, did Amazon deliver, Grandpa? No, they did not.
Videos
It
back
didn't
then
go
were
right
still.
to your device, you're saying?
There was no device. I don't know how to break it to you.
What an old man.
There was. Grandpa, you gotta be lying.
With the devices.
One day I'll tell you about the story. I actually had sex with a real live woman.
Flesh and blood.
You got it. Disgusting? Yes. Sanitary? No.
Mitch, I remember you loved McDonald's, man.
That's right, I did.
You were like, it's the only
I
reliable
did.
place I can get food.
Finally, I could escape my family and get real cuisine.
And you were like, all the soda I can drink, right?
That's right.
Stop right there.
What?
Not anymore, Mitch.
What are you talking about?
Not anymore.
I can't wink at the fat Puerto Rican behind the counter and take my cup there again?
Well, you could give your cup back, but you'll just never be able to pick your own soda ever again because they're getting rid of the machine. Self-service is gone. It's a thing of
You
the past.
have to be kidding me, dog.
You have to go to the counter every single time, so you were more right than you think.
Oh my God. So hold the phone, right? I feel like they just invented those fucking crazy machines that
the
you
red
press it and it's
digital
everything.
ones.
Yeah, it's
No
just
one's using
one
them.
button or whatever and a touch screen or something. I feel like they just, I'm sure it wasn't just, but it feels like they just invented that and now it's
10
gone.
years ago, in the last 10 years.
Yeah, let's say 10, right? Wow.
So I've seen those all over the place, but they're only inside. They're never like at like a rest stop, and they're never at like an actual busy McDonald's.
Yeah,
They're
and
always
that right there,
indoor.
this picture, whatever you see right there is about to be in a museum.
Yeah, this is like an old
Ancient
Midwestern.
past. You're looking at it, grandson.
And the terrible thing is,
What's the terrible thing, Evan?
what
is it?
They're going to put 80% of your cup as ice.
Oh my God. That's the worst crime against humanity, I'm telling you. They don't know how to do it. You know your ice to drink ratio.
Exactly.
You know what you like?
I'm gonna go
Have
like,
it your way. Fuck you, Burger King.
I'm like, I want some Coke, half water. I usually get ice, but
Water
this
it
time
down.
just water.
It's a little sweet, you know.
No ice, just water.
That's right.
Yeah, if you that
You
could,
do cold water.
that could be a skit. You like ask for no ice in your soft drink. They're like, and it's a new person.
I guess.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
I can't do that.
Fuck is this?
But I can't mix Dr. Pepper every flavor with every flavor of
Oh, that's
Sprite
another
now.
thing. Who's gonna tell you want 22% Dr. Pepper, 34% root beer? Come on.
You can leave that on the app comment.
Why? Yeah,
For your
facts,
Uber
right?
driver.
Yo, if they're cool, they might do it. Who knows? Maybe.
Maybe they'll just get rid of these and not the new ones like you
That's
guys
a
were saying.
childhood experience that's just gone now.
Yep.
You'll never know what it's like to taste like just a little bit of high C in your Coca-Cola. You got to go out and make 2 purchases. Is that not tragic?
And it always looked that dirty at every station too.
And you liked
That's
it.
right.
And you
That's the one I
liked
remember.
it. But,
You liked it, my friend.
it's
God,
not-
what kind of kid has been to McDonald's in the 90s or whatever and did not, maybe his mom wasn't looking mix up the flavors.
Well, even the architecture
part
of
of the
McDonald's
past.
is like totally.
Oh, yeah, they're
disgusting now, too.
standardizing, making it all gay, futuristic garbage.
So it costs more to maintain these machines than
Everything's
they're
so
worth.
fucking ugly.
Because
God!
no one goes use them. No one actually goes inside.
Oh, so that's the bottom line. Yeah, it's too expensive.
They're like,
it's
why
too
are we
nasty.
We're not gonna pick and choose which McDonald's has which soda. McDonald's corporate's just like screw the
Looks
machines.
ugly. I bet they're gonna do something where like they do from time to time. Actually, speaking of which, I think there's still like 1 or 2 Blockbusters. Like the company exists, but it's like
Let's go.
Yeah. It's in the South or something like that, I imagine.
I'm gonna rent a game on a disc.
But they do it for fun, so people could do that exactly and have the joys of paying late fees all over again, like it's the 90s. So it's my prediction that they're going to do the same thing with McDonald's. There's going to be rare 90s McDonald's, or maybe by the decade, like, oh, here's the 80s McDonald's. Maybe it wasn't that different, but
See, everything that these marketers do is just totally wrong right now. It's like all these are hot
man.
ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got all the ideas, bro.
They got rid of the cylindrical water tubes in the center of the McDonald's and the Burger King. If you remember that, it
that
had all
was
the bubbles
fun.
shooting up like an awesome like
I love that
aquarium
thing.
That was
water park.
hot.
Yeah,
That was so cool.
That was Burger King?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Burger
yeah,
King was
Burger
so
King.
That was the most 90s thing ever. Was
Wow.
the bubbles.
So not even just McDonald's. I don't think I've been in a Burger King for a long time.
True.
Probably just drive through.
And yeah, that's Poge's point too, right? That like nobody goes in anymore, right? Like I can't remember the last time I went in.
All that stuff costs money to like every year to do something with it, maintain.
Dude,
So they're
that's
just
why,
like,
not to
screw it.
mention, they do a couple by me. There's first I've ever seen no inside Dunkin' Donuts,
Oh.
drive through only. You
They're
guys
like a
seen
little,
these?
little.
It's like a little box. They could do
Yeah.
half the size. They don't really need more than a kitchen because the kitchen is.
I was thinking of the Japanese police station.
Oh yes, Koban.
The Koban, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a donkan.
I guess
Poge got Japanese donut jokes.
I feel like a lot of customer service you go to in modern times, they're like no one's looking at you unless you like be like, you guys work?
Wow,
You guys work?
hot take.
Like, someone working?
That is how it is, right?
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to do that. It's this
Everyone's
new cultural
ignoring
norm.
you. Yeah, everyone's ignoring you.
You
unless
know I'm gonna ignore you,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
it's almost like.
That's the
accepted.
baseline.
Yeah, the baseline.
is being ignored by everything.
So you also know that if you want my attention, you're gonna have to get my attention,
Right.
and you don't hold it against them for hey.
No, you don't care.
Hey, you're like, oh,
everyone
yes.
kind of just knows.
You know, yeah.
Oh,
Everyone
everyone's
knows.
distracted.
The customers are fucked up. They're gonna make your life miserable anyway. So go for it.
wow, yeah, the default position of an employee is to just avoid eye contact.
Yeah,
until you-
thanks. You're there to work, and then some people don't even do that.
It does get nasty and wet in this.
Sounds like
climate.
my ex-wife.
Ha.
Evan, you got a new show coming out, and I'm not talking about CNN.
You're not?
I am not. I'm talking about your new post on Schopenhauer this week. It's gonna come out Wednesday at noon, y'all. You better catch it. You better get it live, or else this knowledge is gonna be gone quick. Call 1-800. By Halloween, these discounts won't last. Promo code EvanSucks.com.
The average women hate him very much.
Like
I mean,
now?
the modern women, today's women, do not like him very much if they've heard of him,
Right.
because he says some stuff that can be abrasive.
I wonder how
some.
women back then thought of him.
Good point. They probably thought none of it. Yeah, you're right.
I tend to think that. I wonder.
Probably just thought, oh, there's some philosopher guy who lives down the road.
So you're telling me he's some kind of a misogynist? You're telling me he's some kind of mansplaining woman hater? Incel? Fool? Is that what you're saying?
I think it kind of goes along. We briefly touched on the pessimism thing last show, where it was a optimist is a pessimist who has all the facts. And I think a misogynist, as people use the word nowadays, that's really the man who loves women the most, or at least trying to do the right thing.
Is love invisible to the opposite gender? Do we love in different ways, so much so that it becomes seemingly invisible? Because we're kind of naturally selfish people, right? It's always, I love you. Whoever says, baby, you love me. You know?
Well,
who can say that for real?
I immediately agreed with you when you said love is invisible, because I saw I saw a stupid sticker on the way back from work today,
didn't say that.
and on the back it says love is a verb. And then immediately I saw that, I'm like, wait, it's absolutely not a verb at all.
Yeah.
It's a noun. Because anyone who thinks you can show love in the physical world is blind.
It's a thing built over time. It's not just happening right now.
Well, that's why I thought I thought of what it would look like as a verb, and all I could think of was sex.
Yeah.
You know, that's like
loving you. And easy cause you're beautiful. Loving. It's all sex. If I'm loving you.
Every song is sex.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, that's your quote from years ago.
Every song. Wow. Oh, my God. Deep. Yeah, I like that now that I'm thinking it through. Loving you is just sexy, but love makes me feel like it's a spirit. It's something. It's there. It exists. It can be, communicated with or attuned to.
My love for you. You're talking about that thing.
Right. It's deeper than all that. I like that a lot. Okay, I just wanted to break that down. That's pretty fun. What else you learned from Schopenhauer? Well, I have some fun quotes here that we could break down and see what y'all think.
I prefer
that. Evan prefers that. We gotta vote.
Remind me.
Is Schopenhauer, in fact, a misogynist? Comment. We're gonna find out right now. However, if the lives of men were relieved of all need, hardship, and adversity, their success would swell them with such arrogance that it would cause them to go mad.
Basically, I agree. Because the less you do for yourself, the less you're going to want to do.
I think rich people are losers.
Oh, is that we're talking about the rich?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you agree rich people are losers? I think about Bezos. I think about Elon Musk. And I think these are just nerds from high school. We had a kid, you know the type. He's like your first friend that you ever had. You hated him, but you kind of had to be friends with him. And I think that's what the rich people ended up being. They watched porn on their phone. They were like the first ones to do it. Oh, they wanted to show you that they had porn on their phone. Yeah, on a flip phone, on a Razor, something that's so low def.
8 pixels.
Yeah, and those guys just happen to learn about business and make a ton of money. Because who else puts that much time into work, into this job, into a company? There's so much more. They sacrifice their family. They sacrifice traveling to be multiple billionaires. And I was breaking down the thought, one of my favorite Bible quotes, the eye of the needle. And I says, we talk about it a lot, but the rich don't need to get into the kingdom of heaven, because the rich, to even get to a billionaire status, what that line is really saying is that you've done things to get there. Nobody makes an honest billion. I think that's just kind of the facts. Do we agree with this? I feel like it's sort of universal. You have to fuck someone over. You have to cut someone out. You have to ruin someone's life to make that kind of money, if not just your own. What's up, Poach?
What's it called? I think it was the it was like 90% of the world's money is held by 1% of people.
Yup.
Or something like that.
Feels real.
Like 90% of all the money. And the other point was Elon Musk, his dad owned an emerald mine.
Oh, so he already had money. Wow.
He didn't just invent PayPal. At
intense.
first,
That's how it
his
goes.
family had an emerald mine. Then he
That is
invented
intense.
PayPal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
South
Damn.
Africa, there you go.
Emeralds are dope.
The hottest part for all the fine, precious gems and
Yeah, that's
metals.
the spot to be. Oh my God. And I just thought about like every rich guy I ever met or dudes in finance, Wall Street guys, like they're so boring. I'm like, I could get into stocks and stuff like that too, but it just seems so gay, like to wave papers around in the air and talk about.
It is pretty lame.
You know, it's so lame. There's so much to life, and you're gonna worry about fake numbers floating through the sky. But I made a lot of money, didn't I? Yeah, I don't fucking care. Like you're
Darn
lame.
traders.
Tell me if this sounds like a finance bro to you. Another story. Another story I just read today. Every day there's a crazy story that relates. Anyways, a guy in California, 22 years old, had a BMW, probably his parents' BMW.
Yeah.
Lost control of this BMW going like somewhere between 90 and 100 mile an hour. Killed 4 college students at Pepperdine University.
Whoa.
Just some 22-year-old white kid driving a BMW, and I'm just like, that is not earned wealth right there. That is a
Yeah.
car that is too much for you to handle, and you just killed 4 people because of it.
Damn.
Start with something smaller. Start with a used Volkswagen.
Yeah, why not like do donuts with a freaking 91 Corolla or
There you
something
go.
like that?
Do a car that you built yourself.
Right, exactly.
Like in Zelda.
It's funny. I was yelling at this cat the first time today. I said, "Get the fuck out of the studio today." And it's the one day he's bothering us right now, sticking his head in. What a freak!
Should I shut the
The
door?
loudest meow. Rich guys are lame. Do
Yep.
we agree?
I agree.
Check, Poj.
Most of them, yeah.
Sunset the kiddo.
There's some cool rich people, but I'd say a lot of them are pretty fucking boring.
Yeah, I swear to God, any old person that had money,
Yeah.
they want the youth again. They'd sell it all to just be young and have a youthful body. Yeah, and they swear they'd do it right this time.
Maybe all the fun rich people kind of just came into it out of, not trying to get wealthy.
Whoa,
Like
so
an
that's
art-
deep, right?
like an
Because
art
it sounds
where
like
they
the
can-
fun rich
yeah.
people is the guy that killed 4 people with the car that he couldn't handle. Wow. You know what I mean? In a fucked up way. I don't mean it directly, y'all.
Y'all.
But you
Yeah,
know what I
maybe,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
maybe-
I'm the fun rich
Yeah,
guy. Yeah, I didn't deserve it.
Yeah. Then like, fuck
So you
somebody.
steal your mom's car and you're like, yeah.
Or he buys his first sports car because he just got super rich.
Yeah, he got a...
Dies.
Exactly.
So maybe they're more fun, but they're not as safe as the boring rich people.
How about this? If the world were a paradise of luxury and ease, flowing with milk and honey and Ferraris, men would either die of boredom or hang themselves. It's very similar. I threw it in there because
Totally
it's
agree.
similar.
Yeah.
You agree?
He predicted the Rat Haven experiment.
Oh, yes.
Basically, wherever
Facts.
life was perfect and they all committed suicide or like turning to homosexuality or
Work
whatever.
is a blessing.
Right. It's this eternal truth that much like the Lord and the Spirit and the Tao, you don't need to learn it. In fact, you can't learn it from somebody else. You really just have to look within. And it doesn't take, maybe it does take a lot, but to really look within yourself and see if you had it all, you'd turn into a homosexual. You'd turn into a psychopath. You'd kill yourself. You'd want for destruction because it's all order. Everything's perfect. You are God. The biggest part is to realize like, oh my God, like I am divine providence. Everyone else is in pain and suffering. You know, probably how all the kings thought in the early ages. It's a natural, logical step. Everyone hates their life. They have nothing. I have everything. It was just given to me. The gods must love me. I am favored by the gods. So they actually believe it sometimes.
And I don't think you added this as a quote, but one that you just sparked my memory of from Schopenhauer was the natural disorder that exists between like kings governing underlings, because being at a human level, the king is at the same level as the people he's ruling over. So it's like the the people who are governing should not be governing anything, really. And that connection, that's a connection you talked about, is really
That's
toxic.
deep. I like that. We're all human, like who has the right to really rule over people.
Or
Sounds
send
like
others.
Tolstoy, talking about, that's Poges in a few weeks, talking about like who's fit to be the judge of man. Started in,
Right. Send others to war for frivolous stuff that only benefits you and the other rulers.
Which is good because it leads to this next quote. A man is never happy, but spends his whole life striving after something that he thinks will make him so. I think we kind of went over that a little bit.
Yep.
Which is like these people who really just strive their whole life. And that's a very like masculine form of happiness or whatever, or fulfillment, which is like you do your goal. You have to get the happiness or whatever you want to call it out of the action itself, because it's very masculine to complete the goal and then say, okay, now I have a semblance of happiness or contentment or whatever you want to call it after having strived and earned it, let's say.
And that was a Bible story too, where the rich man went to Jesus and he had everything, but he was still miserable. And Jesus was just like, well, you know what to do, man.
You know what to do,
know
man?
what to do,
You mean I gotta give away my shit?
Yeah, man.
Man, Jesus, come on, man. Anything but that.
That's how he went away crying.
He was crying. He says, come, anything. He said, whatever you want.
Just not my stuff.
Just not my stuff, man. That's rough. I gotta feel it. It's thousands of years ago. But this guy was feeling it, which brings up our Abrahamic religions.
What kind of stuff was so good back then?
Yeah, facts, right? Even back then, they
Unless-
could not part from their stuff. It wasn't a PlayStation, but he still loved it just as much as you love yours.
Unless ancient astronauts theorized about that time period with better things than we have. Anyways.
Oh, could be. Magic wands and shit. I heard Moses' staff was pretty powerful.
That's true. I
Turn
wouldn't want to
into a
give up a
snake
magic
and
wand
shit.
if I had one that does my
Magic
bidding.
wand. Abrahamic religions look upon suicide as a crime, which is astonishing because there's no proof either way in the actual text. Much like rabbinical Judaism, it kind of changed over time based on the rabbis, hence the name. And it wasn't actually in the Torah, wasn't actually in original text, but it became more of like an oral or just traditional thing.
I got one. Is suicide cool in Buddhism? Can you just do it?
I don't know. That's a great thing, Evan.
Well, that's
Can we ask the robot?
Okay, I was
What were we
going to say.
Unless you know.
Yeah, well, he kind of said that he touched on that because he said it's only the Abrahamic religions that believe in that.
Right.
The Tao or the Eastern philosophy is just like, oh, well, that's life. Kind
What
of
it
thing.
is.
It's
You know
suffering.
what? That was stupid to me to even ask. If you see with the spirit, as I just mentioned, you'd see that it's the right thing to do. I have the right thing.
Careful, Mitch.
The right way. It's the right thing to do.
Right-wing extremism.
Oh my God. I do not endorse this. It's the right way to think because it is. I got in this fight one time with this kid, this real gay hippie kid, and he was just like talking about he's so handsome and all the ladies love him, but he's retarded. I was telling him, he was telling me about an uncle or something who killed himself. And it basically came out, I was like, oh yeah, you have the right to do that, whatever. If it was bad, freedom and stuff. He was getting mad at me, and I got him at the end. I says, "You sound like a Christian right now."
Oh man, got him real good.
His arch enemy, the Christians. He's one of those freaky hippie fake
Because
dudes.
he was making his family members'
You
death
sound like
about
a
him.
Christian.
That's really all it was. Like, this happened to me. I could be affected again if someone else I know dies.
Yeah, wow. Way to cut to the point, dude. It's so true. It's all about you at that point. I felt bad because he killed himself. Wow. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's the emphasis. That's why the Buddhism probably doesn't give a shit about it, because it's like, all right, it was never me. That's
Right.
your story.
Yeah, my guess is
we have too much judgment on people's stories. Like, everyone's so unique. They're living their own thing.
Plus, they get rid of the self, right? They don't believe in the self. So who is there to kill anyway?
Deep hot take. Yeah, very true. Yeah, who is
Who's
really
really
killing
dying?
who?
Who is me? That's being
I can see that defense in a trial. Your Honor, I'm a Buddhist. I don't know. Who really
didn't kill
the
anyone.
other guy. I mean, really, think about it.
Aren't we all just the universe experiencing itself? Women love that one.
Yeah, man.
Aren't we all just the universe experiencing
I see
itself?
God in everyone.
We're different apertures experiencing.
Apertures. I gotta use these gas words. Fuck these words. Speaking of which, Schopenhauer had a lot to say about women as well. And this was his most harsh critique right here. I'm gonna say, this is it. This is the sentence. This is the sentence, folks. Women are directly fitted for being the nurses and teachers of our early childhood by the fact that they themselves are childish, frivolous, and short-sighted.
Sounds like a child to me.
Sorry, baby. It wasn't me. I didn't say it. It was a man long dead. Schopenhauer, blame him.
Not the messenger.
Not the messenger.
It's one of those things you can't even really argue to. It's either you accept it or you don't, and then you might as well just move on to something else.
Deep
I
hot
feel
take.
like the kid should probably be
That
with the
feels
mother
real.
till like what, maybe like 5 years old max, and then 6.
That's a hot take.
6 years old. I feel like that's how it was in old times anyway. Like
I know some people who
Right.
say 3, and
maybe 3, yeah.
some people say like,
Three's
yeah.
maybe a little young, but
Right.
maybe in modern times.
Yeah, and in 300, that kid went out and killed a wolf or something.
Right,
like
that was just about
Yeah.
to say. I don't know what
Remember
the
the
father would
first scene of
teach them in
Sparta?
modern times, though. In
Yeah.
age 6, right? Because I guess fixing your car, son.
You could teach them, but even dads don't know because their shit wasn't taught, and it gets less and less over the years because you have to do less and less. That's what I've come to find
Whoa.
out. Like I don't know
Inverse
shit.
correlation. That's
Inverse
crazy.
correlation there.
That'd be perfect time for
And
your
my
board
dumb ass just makes a podcast.
to
What's
do
that?
like a line graph. Be like, as people know more, the offspring know less, and as there's more done, people know less and less and less.
Damn, X, y'all.
Yep.
It's an X graph.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that just feels real. I like what you said about you either just accept it or you don't.
Yeah, with the women acting childishly. You know, that's why they're perfectly fitted for being nurses and teachers.
That feels kind of right. Yeah, you I hate to say it, but you either accept it and accept God and life and facts, or you don't. And you live in suffering, but you gotta really.
I just feel like young kids with the mom is probably the best off. I don't know how else to say it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why the principals were usually a man too, because they oversaw all the women teaching.
And here we go. This is another one that hits hard. Might get hot in here. The fundamental fault of the female. Oh, that sounds like my next mixtape. Is that she has no sense of justice.
Ooh, that hits deep.
That hits deep. Oh, that's another one. I look inside and I say, oh.
Those simple words, they hit most strong.
It's kind of tied into these last quotes too to get you guys cooking if you want. Their sole duty is the propagation of the species and take affairs of the species more seriously than those of the individual. Now that means a lot. I take that to mean the modern sense of sort of how communism tends to be like a feminine sort of idea. They want to bring in the family. They want to bring in the community. We all should be peace, equal. These fake phrases get invented. And the man knows, and this feels deeply religious, spiritual. This is why it's always God the Father. It's always been that way. And the matriarchal societies have perished in terrible ways. But God the Father is the essence of love. He comes down and he is the soul. He's about the individual. That's how America was founded on. If the individual's happy, if the individual thrives, the society will then thrive.
Yeah, it's
You
so
don't need to
simple.
focus on this fake idea of the community because you can't even control yourself.
Right. And like last week, it was just like, I want everyone to experience what I have. It's like, you don't have anything.
Wow.
You have no inner peace. You
Not
have
to
no
mention-
contentment, no
Man!
happiness.
Oh!
What are you gonna
And I say, I don't want your shit anyway, bitch.
What are you gonna share with anybody?
I want to share
Physical
me.
stuff that someone else got you?
I want to share myself, my love. Yeah. What are you gonna share? Your
I feel like there's like almost like
frying
a
pan?
it's like a balance of emotion on the feminine side and power on the male side, and it's like we're constantly opposing.
Right.
Like there's got to be that balance of each.
Leave it to Poj.
But I'm not done.
He's so peaceful.
I'm not done.
He's about the middle way, y'all. He's
I'm not done.
Taoist.
You're not gonna like the next
Oh
five.
God! Oh, here we go.
I think that Schopenhauer was saying, where did he say, where they have no sense of justice?
Yeah.
I would say that maybe it's probably more likely for deception to occur, rooted in the
man.
female side.
Oh man, Post getting hot here.
Yeah.
He says,
and I say this
first. He has to make peace, and then the hot take comes out.
Yeah.
The
But
scathing refute.
I think there's more leaning towards a play on deception on the female
Well,
side.
Poe, you don't know how wise that is, because our final quote of Schopenhauer, I'd like your take on. Like nature has gifted lions with claws, so too has been gifted the art of dissimulation to the woman.
That's what I just said.
You got it, pal.
I didn't read that. I didn't.
Yeah, facts, right? So, dissimulation, Evan, how would you define that for the folks?
Concealing one's true thoughts.
Concealing one's true thoughts.
This
Okay,
reminds
boom.
me of the execution of John the Baptist.
Ah, yes! That's right.
I actually didn't know, but Mitch knows.
At least I seem like I do anyway.
This is going to back up my theory of deception.
That's right.
So, King Herod married this woman, but he lusted after her because it was a fake marriage. He stole her from his brother. John the Baptist called this out.
Oh, right.
And he had a new daughter because it was a new marriage. So he's showing off the new daughter in front of all his guests. The daughter's dancing. He's like, I will give you anything, my new daughter. You're so beautiful. She goes to the mom, and the daughter's like, I want the head of John the Baptist.
Oh, that's right. It was the mom that
Yeah,
told
the
her
mom.
about it. The bitch
So-
was like, I don't know. I could have anything. And
Yeah.
she's just like, Mom, what should I get?
And then all this deception started with the original lust.
Yes.
And now, I guess King Herod could have said, end it all. No, I'm not doing this. He could have had the power to stop it, but he didn't, and that's where he was weak.
He didn't. Yeah, he couldn't go back on his word. He says, I'll give you my kingdom. I'll give you anything you want.
He could have probably done
And then his bitch
anything.
is like, I don't know.
He could have just said, screw the promise. I like John the Baptist, because he did.
Yeah, because he did.
He did.
He did.
And he was just like, no, I want to look powerful in front of my friends.
Right.
And he had to fulfill the original deception of the
Damn,
lust.
that story is so fucked up because I know that's how it goes, but
It's
it
so messed
feels
up,
so
right? Yeah.
like, for lack of a better word, like fake, like or more.
It was like built, pre-set up.
Yes,
But-
like
but-
it's a preset. Doesn't it feel that way? It feels more
But
mythological.
it fulfills what Schopenhauer's saying. Like,
Yes.
she's the beginning of the deception.
Wow.
She's the beginning of it. And the man could have, like, has
the
to
serpent.
decide.
Hot,
Like,
dude.
the guy's got to decide if the deception is going to happen or not.
Right.
But the woman's always testing the guy. No matter
Damn, that's a hot biblical take, dude.
what. That's my take on Schopenhauer.
Wait, so you're saying a woman is always testing a man?
Yeah, you
right?
can call it deception or
Stress
whatever you want.
testing.
Yeah, always the stress test. I think that's what he's trying
That's
to say.
true.
here.
That is
Yeah,
what they say,
yeah.
you know, because in woman's defense, it's like your man ideally wouldn't be no bitch.
I think that's what I'm getting at.
So they kind of got to test them sometimes, like, hey.
Starts
hey.
with her, yeah. Starts
Yeah.
with her, yeah.
And then before you know, you get what you. And that day, it turns out it was all just a test, a simp test. And it's like, I didn't
Yeah.
actually want you to kill.
Schopenhauer's just saying that every
You
woman is
should've
just
said
doing.
no.
Every woman's constantly doing the simp test on every
Wow.
man. That's what Schopenhauer's saying.
Oh shit, man! Schopenhauer getting deep, man.
It's odd that you'd keep your word on something when it comes to murder. You know what I mean?
It goes back to, not to mention, it goes back to you're rich, his early quotes, right? You've had it all. He probably didn't have to work for it. So he's a simp, dude.
Yeah.
He's a rich loser. Herod was like your first friend. Yeah, like Nietzsche said, the only real OG was Pilate. That guy had some class, but even he couldn't turn down the masses.
Yeah.
Let's get religious in a different way. Let's get Eastern with it. Recently, I've translated the Tao Te Ching. The 5 colors will blind the eye. The 5 sounds will deafen the ear. The 5 tastes will offend the mouth. The rat race will corrupt the heart, make real value difficult, and command people to do harm. Therefore, the holy man serves his belly, not his eye, and abstains from that for the sake of this. And just sort of, abstains from that for the sake of this. That's super deep. You have everything you need here. It's already here. And that's on like a deeper sense. People think about it. It's you're in this moment. There's nothing else here. Who are you going to be? It's all a thought. It's all fake. But everything that is here already, you can be sure of. You can't be sure of all these facts. You can't be sure of all these articles. You can't be sure of anything that is that external, is them.
Wow. Anything.
Anything.
Literally everything.
Anything you know. It's almost saying no for yourself.
Yep.
Anything that you feel to be real is real. Anything you believe can become that way. But you're sort of living in darkness at that point.
And another recurring theme from last week, where you talked about is marketing or advertising evil. Because I'm on the food topic still, I guess, but the commercials we were talking about fetishize fast food, where it's not really nutritious. It gets you your basic salt and sodium or whatever, but it just fetishizes the colors and how juicy it is dripping down.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, you ignore the oatmeal that's in your kitchen and stop at the fast food chain before.
Yeah, until they got a sexy ass bitch on the oatmeal container.
Yeah, right. It's just spooning the oatmeal.
Aunt Jemima in lingerie. Oh, bring it back, y'all.
Pouring the syrup on the pancakes.
Oh, sweet
Serving you in an apron.
Extra butter.
Ass.
Arigato grandma's ass.
Jesus.
Ooh-wee. Yeah. All right. Just as Schopenhauer said, as did Lao Tzu, get that ass.
I've learned to ignore numbers in the Tao. Just ignore all the numbers.
Yeah,
in the
okay,
Tao.
facts. That's a very eloquent, modern yet deep take pose.
Don't read the numbers.
If
just
there's
read it.
numbers, just skip them.
Yeah.
Wow,
The
that makes
colors
sense.
blind the
sounds,
eye.
Taste, the
The
rat race.
sounds deafen the ear. So Rat Race is a fun one, right? I just have to obligatorily say that obviously there was no term rat race, thousands of years ago in China, but they used the term sort of running and hunting, which I thought is rat race. It's the same thing.
The struggle.
You're running. Dude, think about the dream, especially the early man's dreams. He was already hunting all day, but when you're running and you're running in circles, that's when you're lost. When you're running in circles, what is that? It's the process of thought. It's as well the cyclical nature of the hunt, of the dream, of the repetition, of insanity. Insanity is the repetition. Instead of, as we learn from the Tao, be in the moment. And what is the moment? It is this. Whatever this is, whatever you could be sure of now, here. Because that's the only thing that's real. Go with it. It's all you got. It's your best chance.
This is the most straightforward Tao that I've heard you read so far.
Right?
This one's like the easiest one to understand.
Hell
I feel
yeah.
Like. It's just like if you work too hard, you're going to miss out on life.
Yeah,
That's all I'm hearing.
Damn, Lao Tzu, y'all could have just said you work too hard, you miss out. And guys, this has been episode 30.
Damn.
30 episodes, man.
Listen to that sizzle.
Ooh, listen to that sizzle. Guys, I think I won this episode. What do I get?
A bottle of
What?
liquor. Oh, wait.
Oh,
I get to end the show, guys. This has been Ancient Wisdom.